Good work, Craig. You seem to understand what we're doing with the grid approach here. The font choices are interesting. The layout seems well structured. The hierarchy isn't bad. I might suggest making this a little bit bigger and drawing slightly more attention to it. As you ask about the right at the top here, that top green is very hard to read, and I think it might be because it's the same value as this yellow here, and so it tends to, even though the actual color is different, the value is the same, and so it makes it hard to read. Other than that, I think you've got a good thing going on right here. This one, I think, needs more thought into the visual hierarchy. The stuff looks small things scattered all over the page. So my one big suggestion would be that you make print and bean shop much bigger than it is. Second, vertical type like this is very hard to read. If you want to run it vertically, I would suggest that you print it out horizontally and then spin it vertically so that you have to read it sideways rather than read it up and down, and that becomes easier to read and usually more effective. Another thing is intention. And design should always look like it has intention behind it. And this slight curve to the text at the bottom looks like a mistake rather than an intention. And if you're going to give it a curve, give it a recognizable curve rather than a very slight one. The same thing could be said if you're making text crooked. If it's just a little bit crooked, it looks sloppy. If it's a lot crooked, it looks intentional. So this one, it seems that you have a good idea of what needs to happen with a free-form layout. I just think you need to push the visual hierarchy further. Also, we're having similar problems about the readability with this text, and again, it's and this text here, and it's mostly because the text is of the same value, and it makes it a little bit hard to read. So great start here, but I do think they can be tightened up a little bit.